With the help of the College Football Playoff Foundation, the Mountain West recently helped fund over 200 educational projects in Mountain West cities. Hi, I'm Jesse Kurtz in the Mountain West Network studio. The donation was made in coordination with the Extra Yard for Teachers program. The conference donated $100,000 to elementary, middle, and secondary schools that were in need of funding to help maximize the learning experience in their classrooms. In all, 211 projects over 160 schools were sponsored, reaching over 18,000 students. The subjects for the funded projects range from history to literacy, math to science, health to arts, and everything in between. Joining me now here in studio is the man who helped spearhead the initiative, is Mountain West Senior Associate Commissioner Dan Butterly. Dan, the reaction from those schools and those students who were helped by this project has been absolutely heartwarming. The thank you notes continue to pour into the Mountain West office. They come in all shapes, all sizes, all colors, ranging from huge posters to personal cards. This has got to make you feel very good on behalf of the Mountain West that all these students have been touched in a major way. Absolutely.
I mean, the appreciation we've seen from the teachers, from the schools, from the students all across the Mountain West Conference region has been significant. I mean, they're so appreciative of what the College Football Playoff Foundation, the Mountain West Conference, our member institutions, and the Mountain West Conference office have done to impact their schools and their classrooms.
And we've seen these notes, and they're all personal from each one of the students who has been helped. What are some of your favorites? Share with us what some of those students have written to the Mountain West.
It's a situation that we've seen, personalized letters or cards from kindergartners all the way up through high school students. I mean, just one you pick out of the stack. Dear Mountain West Conference, thank you for the document camera. It can project our homework. It has a really cool light. We really appreciate it. It is called a ladybug. As from Trinity, school. You're learning things about how kids are learning nowadays as being part of this project with Donors Choose.
Because it was so impactful. Is this something the Mountain West is going to look into to continue in the future?
I sure hope the College Football Playoff Foundation and Donors Choose see the impact that we've made as part of their grant to the Mountain West Conference. It's been significant. It's been highly impactful throughout all 12 cities within the Mountain West Conference region. The teachers jumped on board when we sent out a notification that we'd asked them to submit projects, and we were able to fund over 200 projects through this project. So I'm very hopeful that we continue moving forward with College Football Playoff Foundation and Donors Choose next season.
Time to get a first-hand look now at how this money has been used around the country. Our first stop is in Albuquerque. We drop in on Miss Reeser's kindergarten class to hear about their beautiful brain project. Guys, I really appreciate you making some time for us. Miss Reeser, tell us about your project and how the money made an impact on your classroom and your kids.
So I'm just a beginning teacher, so I don't have a lot of supplies of my own. And the best way for me to teach is through art and letting my kids be creative with their learning. And unfortunately, we don't have the supplies to do that. So my project, Beautiful Brain, through Donors Choose, helped us get a lot of art supplies so that we could be creative in our classroom.
What are some of those projects that you saw the kids engage in that allowed them to express themselves in the way that you'd like them to?
Well, when we were studying planets, we painted a lot of our planets. We've made sight word sun catchers. We've decorated pictures of the Earth. We've used stickers to make word cards to help our writing. We've used a ton of it.
And I would imagine when you make learning and school fun, it makes a much more profound impact on the kids.
Yes, it does. It helps them express themselves in a way that's easy for them to not only do, but to also talk about.
Well, Miss Reeser, I appreciate you taking some time for us. And guys, enjoy school because it's a ton of fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Our next stop is in San Diego and High Tech High School, where Miss Palmer has put her money to great use, taking her classroom outside to the Sea to Summit focus. Ms. Palmer, I appreciate you joining us here on the Mountain West Network. What sort of hands-on lessons are being taught within your project?
So we're looking at the different habitats in San Diego, looking from the sea to the summit. So we kicked off our semester doing plankton tows in the bay right next to our school. And we identified planktonic animals using the microscope we actually funded with this project. And the students also learned how to do marine debris transects, and we did beach cleanups. Later on, we moved up the mountain, so to speak, and we did different invasive plant support, pulling in one of our local canyons and also in the Famosa Slough watershed. And then we'll culminate this week. We're actually going camping in the mountains at Lake Cuyamaca, so at a state park.
And the equipment that's needed to pull off this sort of project can be pretty pricey. What specific equipment did you buy to pull off your project?
Yeah, one of the pieces of equipment we bought that was most helpful was a microscope that I'm able to actually transmit what I'm viewing on the scope and put it on the overhead projector. So what I'm able to do is show students how to adjust a microscope and also walk them through different animal identification and point out the different features of different planktonic animals so that they could understand how to do proper ID. And without that piece of equipment, a number of the students were struggling to come into focus and figure out how to use that. So that was incredibly helpful. We also used the transect lines that were provided and learned how to do surveying. We used the protocol from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, Marine Debris Shoreline Survey. And so they were able to follow a real scientific methodology and then submit the information that they found.
And this sort of research and thinking is not only important to keeping our coastline safe, but also healthy and thriving, which is very important in San Diego, is it not?
Yeah, very important. We had the opportunity to look at habitats that were protected as opposed to not protected. And San Diego has some great marine protected areas, so the students were able to get out there, use the underwater cameras that we have, and document what they saw. That was great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for what you're doing with the money and with your students and keeping our coastline beautiful and safe. And just maybe one of your students one day will be the next great scientist that leads to a great discovery.
Yes.
Ms. Palmer, I thank you for your time and good luck the rest of the school year.
Thank you.
Last stop is Colorado Springs and Keller Elementary to check in on Ms. Kerwin's class, who is growing food with their project called Combating Diabetes by Learning, Growing, and Eating Healthy Food. Ms. Kurtz, appreciate you making some time for us. What specifically did you purchase with the money, and what sort of things are you growing?
We purchased 3 arrow gardens through Miracle Grow. So they basically grow inside, and they're hydroponic. So they just need water and a little bit of fertilizer from seed to, kind of the maturity. So we bought those, and we also bought a fish tank where the fish excrement fertilizes the food, so they can kind of learn about that type of system as well.
This project is not only fun for the students, I would imagine, but it also teaches them lifelong skills and healthy eating habits, right?
Correct, yes, and that's what we really wanted to target. And when I was kind of looking at different things, I just saw the diabetes rate is just out of control. I think we need to start them young and teach them better skills, and just open the door for them to understand what they're putting in their bodies and how it affects them. They've tested new things they've never had before, mint and pesto, and we've learned about basil. They all seem to love salad, which I was happy to hear. But we've kind of grown leafy greens and had those on Navajo tacos and those types of things. So
I would imagine this builds a strong sense of community in your classroom as well, because they're all doing this together.
Oh, for sure. And even the kids who aren't necessarily involved are very interested in the plants, and they're like, oh, it's growing, and they're very concerned about it and love to give the water that the plants need. So yeah.
Well, it sounds like an awesome project. Thanks for all you do, and maybe someday on my lunch break I'll come down and eat a salad with your kids.
Well, sure, for sure. We would welcome you.
Perfect. So you can see so many students around the country have been touched. And Dan, this isn't just a Mountain West initiative. There were so many hands in helping pull off this major project.
Jesse, you're spot on. We couldn't have done this without the College Football Playoff, the College Football Playoff Foundation, the great partnership we were able to align with Donors Choose, all of our member institutions and their marketing departments doing things throughout the regular season in football this year, plus the Mountain West Conference and the staff associated with it. It was a significant project amongst the entire membership and our partners at College Football Playoff Foundation.
$100,000 donated, 211 projects across the country. The Mountain West is honored to have played a role in helping shape the future leaders in our country. For Dan Butterly, I'm Jesse Kurtz. Thanks for watching this presentation of the Mountain West Network.